Hello, I'm Peter Bergman. This is my official YouTube channel. I'll be updating you with the latest news, so please subscribe to my channel.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today is a beautifully chaotic Thursday, and we are absolutely thrilled to dive into the latest mind-bending developments with all of you. Grab your coffee, settle in, and let's get right into it. Okay, I literally cannot believe this. Can we please process this mess together? Might delete this later, but I seriously can't stay silent about this anymore. Please tell me I'm not the only one losing my mind over this. It is 3 a.m. My eyes are practically bleeding from staring at these monitors, and I have officially snapped. I am ditching the script. I am breaking every single filter I possess. Look, I am a severely sleep-deprived creator who just hit record because this grueling, decade-long journey has finally pushed me over the edge. There are legends carrying this entire narrative on their shoulders, pouring their blood, sweat, and tears into the lore, while others are single-handedly testing my absolute sanity, and I'm going to call them all out right here, right now. Listen, we all knew Jack Abbott being hospitalized was already a massive traumatic event. But the revelation of how he got there, unbelievable, guys. What's going on here? Basically, the truth is that Patty, yes, completely unhinged, deeply obsessed, utterly terrifying Patty Williams, orchestrated this entire hospitalization. She literally set him up just so she could get him vulnerable in a hospital bed. That is a total game changer for her level of villainy. Suddenly, we are thrust into a full-blown psychological thriller. And what does she do next? She doesn't just sneak in through a back door like a standard issue soap antagonist. Oh no. She low-key obsessions her way into a full-blown surgical disguise. Wait, why are we like this? Why do we just accept the reality of Genoa City Memorial Hospital? Honestly, the security at this hospital is a complete joke. Anybody can just stroll into the intensive care unit in some stolen scrubs and a surgical mask, and the nurses are just like, yes, doctor, right this way. Please operate on our billionaire VIP. It is a major flex for Patty's audacity, but it is destroying my blood pressure. Basically, Patty is waltzing through the sterile, fluorescent-lit corridors, her eyes burning with that signature manic intensity, clutching a syringe filled with God knows what heavy sedative. She is legitimately masquerading as a world-class surgeon, and I am screaming at my screen. Listen, if you have been following this lore for as long as I have, you know that Patty's obsession with Jack isn't just a passing phase. It is a deeply rooted, psychologically scarring fixation that has spanned decades. Remember the sheer lengths she has gone to in the past to isolate him and claim him as her own? Honestly, the fact that she has managed to resurface, bypass every single security measure, and stand within inches of him is a testament to her terrifying ingenuity. It's a major flex for her character arc, but a devastating blow to our collective sanity. Basically, she has weaponized her own madness, turning it into a laser-focused mission to abduct the only man she believes can save her. Look, her plan was actually terrifyingly simple and brutally effective. Inject Jack, knock him out cold, and wheel him right out the front doors into the night. It's an absolute masterclass in delusion. She genuinely believes she can just pack up the patriarch of the Abbott family like a late-night takeout order and vanish into the ether to live happily ever after. I am spiraling just thinking about her standing over his defenseless, unconscious body. The heart monitors are steadily beeping, the room lights are dimmed, and suddenly she raises the needle. The tension is a raw frame that packs a lethal crunch. You can literally feel the danger radiating off her. But wait! Suddenly, the universe decides to bless us with the most chaotic, unexpected interruption possible. Kyle and Diane. Honestly, Diane has been working my last nerve lately with all her scheming and posturing, but right now, actually no, Diane is still the absolute worst. Wait, I take that back. Diane is an absolute queen for this exact moment. I am contradicting myself because my brain is melting, but you know what I mean. They happen to walk back into the recovery room. At the exact horrifying second, Patty is about to plunge that massive needle into Jack's IV line. It is a high-octane jump cut from peace to absolute terror. Listen, the sheer, unadulterated tension in that room when Kyle's eyes lock onto the surgeon is palpable. You can literally see the gears turning in his head. The height is wrong, the posture is totally off, the vibe is utterly rancid, and Diane's mother bear meets protective ex-wife radar, instantly redlines into the danger zone. Excuse me, what exactly are you doing to him? Diane demands, her voice slicing through the silence. And Patty just freezes. Basically, the jig is entirely up. Patty drops the act, the surgical mask slips both literally and figuratively, and all hell absolutely breaks loose in that tiny room. Suddenly, it's not a dramatic soap opera anymore. It's a full-blown, high-stakes action movie. Kyle lunges at her with zero hesitation. Patty, fueled by pure, unadulterated psychotic adrenaline and the desperate need to keep Jack, fights back with the strength of 10 men. It's a total game changer for the choreography of this show. They are violently grappling right there next to the fragile life support machines. Diane is screaming at the top of her lungs, desperately trying to grab the syringe out of Patty's hand, and Patty is just thrashing around like a wild animal cornered in a cage. The sheer chaos of it all is a massive sensory overload. And then, oh my God, I can barely even type this without shaking. Look, in the middle of this violent, chaotic crossfire, their struggling bodies crash violently into Jack's hospital bed. The force of the impact, the sheer, violently shifting physical momentum, Jack is literally shoved right off the mattress. He falls! He hits the cold, hard linoleum floor with a sickening, heavy thud. I screamed. I literally screamed at my screen until my lungs hurt. He was already in critical condition. You monsters, how much more can this man take? Whoa, I've really gone off chasing butterflies into another dimension, thinking about the structural integrity of hospital beds and the physics of the fall. Bringing the signal back, let's stick to the script. Listen to me. The trauma of that brutal fall to the floor is catastrophic. It instantly rips open his recent surgical wounds. The delicate stitches just completely give way under the immense pressure. Suddenly, there is blood everywhere. It's not just a little trickle. It is a massive, horrifying hemorrhage. The old wounds burst open like a dam breaking, and Jack is actively bleeding out on the floor of his own recovery room. It is a visceral, utterly terrifying visual that I will never be able to unsee. Basically, Patty uses the utter shock and horror of that bloody moment to make her escape. She violently shoves Kyle back, breaks free from the tangle of limbs, and sprints out the hospital door. Suddenly, we are thrown into a breathless, high-stakes chase down the hospital hallway. Kyle is absolutely not having it. He leaves Diane screaming for a code blue, vaulting over a crashed medical cart to sprint after Patty. The camera work here is insane. Frantic footsteps echoing down the corridor, carts being shoved aside. Patty is desperate, her stolen surgical cap flying off, her manic eyes darting wildly for any possible exit sign. But Kyle is relentless. He closes the distance in seconds and absolutely tackles her. He obliterates her into the nearest wall, pinning her down with incredible force as hospital security finally decides to show up to do their actual jobs. Honestly, where were they 5 minutes ago? Basically, Patty is completely subdued, writhing on the floor, and screaming absolute unhinged nonsense about how Jack belongs to her and how they are meant to be together forever. It is chilling, pathetic, and deeply disturbing all at once. But the real nightmare is back in the recovery room. I am low-key obsessing over the sheer tragedy of this scene. Diane is on her knees on the cold floor, her hands completely covered in Jack's blood, frantically trying to apply pressure to his gaping wounds. The sheer panic in Diane's voice as she screams for someone to save him is haunting. You can see the absolute terror in her eyes, stripping away all her usual calculated composure. In that moment, she isn't a schemer. She is just a desperate woman watching the father of her child slip away. The doctors are yelling for crash carts, blood transfusions, and emergency surgical trays. The sheer chaotic energy of the medical staff trying to stabilize a man who is literally draining of life right in front of us is the most intense television I have seen all year. Jack's blood pressure is plummeting straight into the abyss. His skin is pale, his breathing is shallow, and he is officially crashing into severe hemorrhagic shock. Okay, I literally cannot process this level of psychic damage anymore. Why are we like this? Why do we subject ourselves to this grueling, emotionally bankrupting journey just to watch our absolute favorites bleed out on a dirty hospital floor because a disguised maniac slipped past the front desk? It's a major flex on our emotional endurance, and I am completely destroyed. I am dumping this unedited psychic damage onto the digital hive mind right now because I need the only circle that speaks this language to witness my existential collapse. Jack Abbott better survive this absolute catastrophe, or I am officially done. Honestly,
Thank you for watching my video. I will be updating regularly with the latest news, so please remember to subscribe to my channel to support me.